Hey, everybody out there with 2025 with the first episode of the new year. This is episode 105 of Sis and Big Pops Culture. I am Big Pops, Todd Turner, also known as Mosaic Fan Art.
And hi, sweet friends. I am Hannah Jo, aka Sis, and together we are an adult daughter and father duo. We dive into all things geek, nerd, and fandom. Every episode is family friendly.
Friendly for a new year. My thing just said, "Are you playing music?" ?
No.
Then it says, "Set up professional audio in audio settings."
We are such good singers.
I know it. That all these bots go, "There must be
You're using audio.
Illegal. Okay, Hannah, tell everybody what we do here.
Sweet friends, thanks for hanging out with us. So Dad and I, as usual, are going to start with some nerd news to us, things we think are interesting that's going around in the world. We're going to share what we've been binging. Pops is going to share his pull list with us. If you don't know what that is, don't worry. And then, because we'll tell you. And then we are going to talk about a trade paperback, Tales of the Unnamed, The Blizzard by Image Comics.
Considering that it was 4 degrees here this morning and we had so much snow and there's still crap. Everything is still icy here. Like the whole entire sidewalk is covered in ice. An inch of ice.
The snow is pretty much melted except in some very, very shaded areas here in Memphis, Tennessee.
We've got piles of snow bigger than me. It's crazy. Anywho.
That's so funny.
Hannah.
Yes.
Let's just jump into it. We haven't been on the podcast for a while.
In a minute.
And we're going to jump into nerd news to us.
Okay.
So much nerd news that I felt overwhelmed that I only wrote 2 things down.
There's so much nerd news that I felt overwhelmed and I wrote more than 2 things down.
All right. Well, what are the odds that you wrote both of the things that I had
Probably
down?
high. How about you start instead?
No, you go, and then I will chime in and go, that was it.
Okay.
Right, let's give it a shot.
The Daredevil teaser trailer. The devil's work is never done.
It's called Born Again is the show.
But the tagline is the devil's work is never done.
Did you watch it?
I did.
Okay. It's pretty brutal. Do you know that Vincent D'Onofrio said that they were supposed to release it a little while ago, but they held it off because of the fires in L.A.
And
because it talks about the city burning or whatever.
Yeah. Which, I mean, that's kind of tender to hold off.
It's brutal. Brutal. Did you finish Daredevil?
No. And my husband is watching the podcast live right now, and he hasn't finished it either, I don't think. But we were watching it, and we got to the car scene. The car door scene. The car door scene in season 1 with Kingpin and the car door. You don't remember the car door? I'm not going to say.
Oh, yeah. I remember that.
I literally just going to repeat the same thing over and over again until you understood.
I know what it is. Yes. Yeah. Exactly. So I finished the first. You're only season 1?
I finished the first season. I watched that one by myself, and then I was like, "Oh, well, we could watch season 2." But Trevin's never seen it, so we might as well start over again. But we never season 2.
There were characters in there that you don't even know who they are, like Bullseye. You know who Bullseye is?
I do because of a comic book we read, or because of
the old movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Bullseye makes everything a weapon or whatever. He was in it. Did you see John Barenthal?
I don't know who that is.
He said, "Put down the hatchet."
Yes. Beard guy.
That's the Punisher.
No, that's cool.
Golly, I feel like I'm just telling somebody the first thing ever. Like,
Dad,
let me tell you what a comic book is.
Whippersnapper.
Yes, it's going to be. Did you, how he kept shaking at his hand, twitching at the table. The Kingpin, he's still crazy. He's the mayor.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Kingpin, he be bonkers.
Yep. So anyway, that was one of my pieces of news. So
I knew it. I
check,
knew it would be. Okay.
check. Well,
let's
you
see.
guess what my second piece of news and say it now.
Okay. Maybe you picked up this piece of news for me because you know that this is a thing that I like. The Avatar Fire and Ash concept art.
No, go ahead.
Oh, okay. So I am a fan of the Avatar films. I think that they're very fun. Not Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Not M. Night Shyamalan's Avatar movie or the
Though the
Netflix
music
show.
in the M. Night Shyamalan Avatar movie is Chef's Kiss perfect.
Cool. I don't know.
The music is so good. Is it by no, it's one of my favorite composers. It's by the guy who did the live Peter Pan.
Okay.
It's the same composer, and I really like the guy that did the live Peter. I can't remember his name.
Anywho.
I don't know.
Concept art for Avatar.
The concept art looks really cool.
Where are we this time? We're not under the water.
We're not under the water. This is called Avatar Fire and Ash. And
so they're in volcanoes.
Yeah. So you meet two clans. One clan is the Ash clan. And they have been their territory was devastated by a volcano. And so they are not let's live in peace with nature. They're nature is vindictive and will kill you. And then another group are called the Wind Traders. And they are a nomadic traveling air people.
Okay.
And it looks so cool. I'm going to show Dad the concept art. You all can't see this on the podcast because this is an auditory medium, but it's like one of the flying things.
Yeah, it's called an X-wing fighter.
But it's an X-wing fighter, but
it's an X-wing fighter with feathers.
And then for the nomadic people, I was like, spice collectors? ? Is this a spice collector?
Like an ornithopter for the spice?
Yeah, no, the things that the Harkonnen use to
the harvesters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? Doesn't it kind of look like a spice harvester?
All right. So, yeah, I don't know. I know you enjoy those.
I will ask my husband very, very kindly if he will pretty please with sugar on top, take me to go see it in the theaters.
See it
probably
in
go watch
IMAX.
It in IMAX.
Yeah, I get it. Cool. That's cool.
Because I like them.
When is this even supposed to be?
Who knows? Not me. Not me.
All right. Cool.
2 Christmases from now.
Yeah, well, Daredevil comes out March 6th.
Yeah, Daredevil's coming out soon.
Daredevil, yeah. What did I say? Did I say Daredevil? Yeah, what else you got?
I thought of another piece of news that might be your piece of news.
All right, go.
One Piece releasing new characters that are going to be.
I saw that. Not my news, but go ahead.
Okay.
Do you know these people?
No.
Okay. No. Yeah, which is why I was like,
not at all.
But I didn't know anybody that was in the first season.
Well, I don't know
they were great.
Actors. What? I don't know what that means.
I'll tell you.
Okay.
That's not my piece of news either.
Trevin trying to guess your piece of news too?
Trevin is, but I'll mention it. I didn't have that on there, but
okay.
It's okay.
Miss Golden Week, Chess, and KM are the 3 characters that have been announced new in season 2 for One Piece.
Yeah, I don't
know who they are. Here's the thing. One Piece was one of the funnest shows that I watched last year.
I loved it. And
it was so fun. We watched it a couple separate times. It was very enjoyable. And I'm excited about it. The people that are diehard in the anime felt really respected by the live action, which is not historically been the case of live action remakes of animes.
Okay, well, I couldn't tell you, but I mean, I've watched some of One Piece, but I liked the show. It just felt human, you know. Whereas when they try to do that with animals, I don't like it because they just can't emote. I mean, they can't emote, right? The cartoon animals can emote. I'm going to go ahead and tell what. Go ahead.
Okay, yeah, go.
So Trevin's trying to guess my piece of news. I just didn't have it in there because I didn't know if anybody appreciated it. But Diamond Distributors, which used to be the only distributor of comic books, has filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. So some people are saying this is going to make or break comic books. like we won't get comic books anymore. But there are other people that are distributing comics right now, and so who knows? I don't know what that means for anything, but that.
There are a lot of like independent distributors right now as well. Is that
Penguin
right?
and Penguin Random House started distributing. It happened over COVID, basically, and there's a lot that went on. And I'm not big in the industry news, but
Dang.
a lot of people disappointed in how the comics have been being delivered, and so now they're filing Chapter 11 bankruptcy.
There's a guy who does like crowd-funded comic books that are like printed and made and delivered in the US, and their shipping warehouse is literally in Gallatin.
Is that the Ripaverse?
Yep.
All right, there you go.
It's literally in our hometown.
Cool. That's cool.
So,
All right. Okay. Yeah. I don't know how that'll affect comics.
Do you want me to continue?
Can't keep going.
Okay, I don't know. I don't think this
That's
might
okay,
be.
just say
This might be okay. This is a piece of news that I saw and was like, "What?" And honestly, I'm a little excited about. Okay, I do not. I'm just going to tell you. A first look teaser was released for a movie coming out that's called Until Dawn.
Okay, it's like a zombie movie.
No, Until Dawn was a horror video game that was released, and how the video game, like the whole thing was like the butterfly effect. And so you got to make choices.
Did you ever see that movie?
I did not.
It's a good movie.
You got to make choices in the game that would impact gameplay later on down the road. And if you didn't make choices quick enough, the choice would be made for you. And it was like a horror game. So you played as like 8 different characters, and that like did different actions, that had different motivations, that had different skill sets. Hayden Panettiere was the main girly pop. Rami Malek, is that his name?
Ravi Malek, yeah. He's going to be in
a
new. He's going to be in a new one called The Amateur, I think.
The pretty boy that was in.
Maybe it's not called.
I'm just going to Google Until Dawn.
I don't know what it's called.
Here's the thing. I am not a video game playing girly pop. That is not my skill set. I am not good at it, nor do I feel as if it is a thing I would like to do.
Yeah, see, I got too much to do rather than play video games, but that's cool. It's just not my jam.
Have I, though, watched people play Until Dawn on YouTube and spent hours of my life observing people play this game? The answer is yes, I have. My favorite person who's played this game is Markiplier, who is a very famous YouTuber who plays video games and like videos himself playing video games. And I watched him. It's like so many hours of him.
So what's the premise?
I watched all of them. The premise is, so you're stuck in this place. They're there to like one of the characters. No, they're stuck in this like cabin. So the video
Gatlinburg.
game. No, they're stuck in this like mountain cabin. This group of teenagers are there. One of the characters' sisters,
Dale and Tucker versus Evil,
passed away, and there's like things that are happening, and like characters start like being chased and like hunted by this like being, and the whole thing is you have to last until dawn.
So it's sort of like Evil Dead.
Yeah.
I'll swallow your soul. I'll swallow your soul. Anyway.
You have to like stay alive until dawn.
Okay.
What the movie is doing is it's keeping the same like tone and some of the similar mechanics, but kind of is changing the story.
Yeah, because they can't do the part where you pick this and don't do this.
Yeah, so they can't do like the butterfly effect. But what they're doing is characters are like hunted by like a person in a mask or creatures. They perish, and then they wake up, and it's like a different horror genre. So it's like a bunch of different like horror genres as they're like living, and then they're doing something happens, they perish, they wake up. It's a different genre, and it just happens over and over again.
So it's a Groundhog Day nightmare.
Nightmare, Groundhog Day.
Nightmare on Groundhog Street.
They're keeping some of the same mechanics that like someone's sister has mysteriously disappeared. They're abandoned. They're like exploring abandoned visitor center, which is something that happens later on in the game.
That's in Death Road to Canada. The little
some
game
things
I
like
play
that.
on my iPhone.
But they eventually discover what's the quote? Trapped in the valley, they're forced to relive their nightmare again and again. Each time the threat is different and more terrifying. Hope dwindling, the group soon realizes they only have a limited numbers of being revived left. The only way to escape is to survive until dawn.
Okay, cool.
So I'm
not going to watch it.
I'm not going to watch this because I am not a horror film girly pop. I'm also not a video game girly pop. So I had a really fun time watching.
I'm going to start doing. I'm going to put a counter on the screen. How many times you say girly pop? Yeah.
I am really excited about this movie. I really enjoyed the gameplay. I think that it's a really interesting like horror like concept. And it was a really popular game. It came out on PlayStation right when the new PlayStation like was coming out. And like you had to like hold your controller like steady. Like it would monitor your movements. And if you moved if you were like shaking while you were playing the game, like your character would get caught.
That's
so
terrible.
Like you had to the game mechanics were really cool. I hope, and it seems like the way that they're trying to translate that into real life. Like the real life, LOL, movies aren't real life, but how they're trying to translate that is interesting to me.
Coolio. Yeah. All right. Okay.
Tell me your news, Dad.
You don't have any more?
I have more.
You have a lot.
Yeah.
Okay.
I never have a lot.
I know. Swamp Thing movie.
No.
Yes, a Gothic genre horror film, standalone film. By James Mangold. I think he's the dude who did Old Man Logan. The Logan movie.
Old Man Logan was good.
I think. I'm not for sure. He's done some cool stuff. So yeah. Finally, a Swamp Thing movie. Do you know my friend Hector was a extra on the Swamp Thing TV show that lasted one season?
No, that's so fun.
He's just in the background. But yeah, that's fun. Mm-hmm.
My aunt is in the background of The Chosen.
Oh, yeah, no kidding. Who knows? Maybe your mom is.
Yeah, mom might be in there too. We might see her next time.
That's crazy. All right. That was it.
Okay, my last piece of news is bookish news.
All right, go for
it. So there is a series. This kind of like falls into binging. So can this be like a bridge to binging?
Let's just keep going.
There is a series that is very popular called Fourth Wing. It is for grown-ups. Do not let your children read this book. Love, Hannah. But the third book is coming out. And the third book is called Onyx Storm. And apparently there's some stuff going on with new tariffs that are coming in that is going to make book publishing more difficult, and it's going to be more expensive, like paper and like ink and things like that. Like books are going to increase. And
they don't know. This is just
a thought. So people are freaking out about costs of books potentially increasing. There are, I don't know if this is new or if this is just new to me, but people come out with like deluxe special editions of books. Did you know about this?
There's all kinds of stuff like that. Just like DVDs.
I had no idea that there were deluxe special editions of books. So I pre-ordered a deluxe special edition of Onyx Storm October 2nd of last year.
When are you going to get it?
It's beautiful. It has sprayed edges. It has dragons on the side of it. It looks so pretty. Beautiful.
Okay.
I'm like scrolling through Instagram while Trevin and I are working on a puzzle. While Trevin works on a puzzle and I sit there is more accurate.
Gotcha.
And saw an Instagram video saying, "Hey, if you pre-ordered Onyx Storm, you should check on it. I bet it's canceled. Amazon has sold too many books." And they're canceling orders. And I looked on my thing and it did not have a delivery date. It had book is expected to be released January 21st.
Right, because it's not been released yet.
But I have another book that I pre-ordered from them, and it's being delivered to my address on the day the book is released. So a big thing that's happening right now is all of these like deluxe special editions of these books are being companies are selling too many copies that they can't fulfill orders. And so,
Or the bots are buying them all and then reselling them on eBay.
yeah. Well, do bots buy things on Amazon?
They can buy a thing on anything. How do you
So
know
I
I'm
was
not a
talking
bot?
to my roommate about this, who also had pre-ordered a special edition copy, and hers still says book will be released on the 21st.
Yeah. So
And I
there you
checked
go.
mine, and
Tuesday,
mine's
we'll know.
arriving. Mine's arriving January 23rd.
So you are getting it.
I'm one of the lucky ones who pre-ordered literally 3.5 months in advance.
I get it.
And I need you to know that I was a salty, salty girly pop. There it is again. And talked to a gentleman on Amazon and was like, this is unacceptable. And he's like, okay. Like, what are you
what
going
can
to
I do
do?
about it? Yeah.
Like, what are you going to do? And I was talking to Trevin about it. And so Trevin is going to go try to buy a regular version from me from Walmart on the 21st, because the horror film The Substance comes out on DVD on the 21st. And he was already going to go to Walmart anyways.
Gotcha.
So if they have a regular copy of Onyx Storm,
That's hilarious.
which this happened last time, because I pre-ordered a copy of Iron Flame, which was the second book, not like a special
You know
copy.
what? You should have a book pull list.
I don't think you want a book pull list from me.
Nope. Just got 3 months to get some books for you.
3 months. Yeah. So I've been binging to slide into that. I've been binging Fourth Wing Iron Flame, which are the 2 books by Rebecca Yarros before Onyx Storm comes out. And I'm also in part reading this because me and one of my sweet friends are going to start a podcast where we read books and then review them for parents, to give parents content warnings on different books.
That's a great idea. We got to come up with a name for it.
Is that what you're talking about? A pull list for my book?
Yeah,
my
for your
birthday?
30th birthday.
Oh, Trevin got it and I didn't.
Yeah, that's all right.
My dear sweet husband. But I do have that. I need to give Trevin that list.
Yeah, because it's coming up soon.
I'm turning 30 on the 3rd of April. And so I'm asking, I got 13 books when I turned 13, and I'm turning 30 on the 3rd. And I think I should get 30 books on my 30th birthday. Because I got 13 books.
People need to get down to business.
Let's get down to business. So I will.
Sandwiches, barely even human.
I know. Okay, so I'm binging that. That's what I'm listening to that on graphic audio.
Okay.
Another thing that I am binging is RWBY, which is the American anime on Rooster Teeth that Trevin and I really like.
You're watching that? Okay.
We're watching that. Trevin, did you get him one of the DVDs for Christmas?
I did, I think.
Yeah, so we started it so that we could keep watching.
Remember.
I think that you did. Someone got him one of the DVDs for Christmas. And so we've been watching RWBY. Mm-hmm. Another thing that we watched that I don't know if you know about is a Star Trek short film.
Okay, Trevin sent me the thing and I completely got bogged down and forgot to watch it. So I need to watch it. I do know about it. He sent me the link or told me about it.
Yeah.
And I just haven't done it.
I don't want to spoil it because
bad father-in-law.
Going into watching it not knowing
just don't tell me.
was special.
Cool. Awesome.
But we also watched 765, 874 Unification.
I have no idea what that means. What the heck is that?
765.
That's Star Trek, you mean?
Mm-hmm. I said Star Trek.
Yeah, but I didn't know if that's what you were saying. We also watched that.
Yeah, we also watched this short film. And I won't talk about it because I don't want it. It's called Unification. Well, it's called those numbers first and then Unification.
Okay, gotcha. Okay,
but
cool.
It was very good.
Awesome.
What else did I watch? Oh, I'm keeping track of the amount of books that I read because
you know what? I should keep track of the comic books I read.
Because a friend asked me how many books I read, and I guessed, I don't know, 500 in a year. And she was like, you're being dramatic. There's no way you've read 500 books in a year. Thank you, Trevin. I'll come back to that. Guess how many books I've read? It's the 15th of January.
I don't know. The 15th of January. Let's go with 18.
21.
All right. So you can legally get the liquor. Don't do that, children, unless you're 21. And
Last
even
thing,
then-
and then I'll be done talking.
Okay,
And
go.
you can talk.
All right.
Trevin and I, when we were coming back from our honeymoon, put in money for a Kickstarter for a video game called Mika and the Witch Mountain.
What console?
Switch.
Okay, cool.
We waited forever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever. And we finally got it 2 weekends ago.
Okay, so he's been playing it.
And he played it in a day. He finished it in a day. It's just a
funny.
sweet little 8-hour game.
That's cool.
But I watched him play that and it was really tender. It's fun to do Kickstarter.
It is fun to do Kickstarter.
Something we enjoy.
I had friends that did that with a board game. I'm not the
The
great at playing
Dwarven
it,
Smithy.
but Dwarven Smithy, way to go. Craig Blythe and Mike Worth. That crew.
So I'm done.
All right, so I have watched a bunch of stuff. I watched Alien Romulus,
Okay.
the new Alien movie. And it takes place in between the first movie and second movie. And it's a bunch of teenagers, so it's young people. And maybe 18 to 25. And yeah, it's an alien movie. It had a real weird, creepy thing at the end.
No. No.
The cool thing was it had Ian Holm, who was Bilbo in the original,
Bilbo.
who was also the android in the very first Alien movie.
Sick.
So they CGI him in this. And he's a dead alien, or dead android, and they shock him or hook him back up and comes back to life. But anyway, it was cool. It was, I think, on Hulu. Definitely not for kids. It's a alien movie. You get what you get. Not much different, except for the creepy alien human hybrid at the end.
We reviewed Alien,
The first one.
the first one, in the past.
We have. It was a good movie.
It is
It's
the
like space
only.
horror.
It was the first space horror film.
Yeah, basically, they created the genre.
They created the genre. Alien created the genre, and that's the
And
only
the first
Alien
one
movie
with
I've ever watched.
with a real female action lead.
Sigourney Weaver.
Sigourney Weaver. So now it all comes back to Avatar. I watched the movie Complete Unknown, the Bob Dylan movie.
Oh yeah, with Timothy Chalamet.
Great movie. Fantastic. It is rated R because they smoke all the time and they say the big bad. That's
all
it.
the time.
No, I mean, there are some.
Is there explicit
No.
nature? Okay.
No.
Are
No.
they smoking cigarettes or smoking other things?
Cigarettes, as far as I know. And his fingernails are nasty.
I bet they were.
I mean, in the movie, they make his fingernails nasty.
No, because I bet they were with the amount of
Yeah.
cigarettes that they were. Cigarettes? Are you kidding?
Yeah. It was a great movie. Great movie. Loved it. Absolutely fantastic. I watched the entire first season of Creature Commandos, which is James Gunn's first real release as the head of DC Entertainment.
What'd you think?
So it is animated and it is not for kids. Do not let your children watch that. It is, if it were not animated, parts of it would be higher than R, I think. But because it's animated, you can get away with that kind of stuff. So that aside, I thought it was really, really good. They didn't need to have some of the stuff that was in it that made it so bad. They just didn't need to have it.
I hear that.
But the characters were great in it. It's basically like Suicide Squad, although this takes place right after the Suicide Squad TV show, and it's got all the people that are in it, but it's animated, and that's what James Gunn's doing. So the people who voice Amanda
are
Waller
in it
is the
still.
same, yeah. And it's like, I thought they shut down Suicide Squad after your daughter turned them all in, which happened at the end of the Suicide TV show with John Cena. But they're like, well, these people are not, they're not humans. They're creatures. I can do with them whatever I want. basically.
Amanda Waller.
Amanda Waller.
Why you be like that?
I watched the first episode of The Skeleton Crew.
Okay. Do you like it?
It was fun. It was
Star Trek?
cute, fun. No. Skeleton Crew is
It's
Star Wars.
Okay.
It's Goonies Star Wars. Yeah, I liked it. It was okay. Didn't go back and watch the rest, but yeah, I don't know. It's just not my jam, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a OG Star Wars girl. I almost said girly pop, but I stopped myself.
You'd said it anyway. I am now into season 3 of Big Bang Theory.
Are you enjoying It gets better.
Okay, so my issue with Big Bang Theory is the nerd stuff is fantastic, but their preoccupation with
Penny.
no, not Penny, not just Penny, with nerds trying to get lucky with women is annoying. It's almost to the point where I'm like, I just am not going to watch this anymore because I'm sick of that. Every episode, it seems like it dwells on that.
It gets cuter once they're all coupled, in my opinion.
Okay.
It's cuter
right.
once they're all. When was season 3 released?
I don't know, but they had 12. There's 12 seasons, so I'm in season 3, and yeah. Have you watched it?
Oh, I've watched all of it.
Oh, okay.
When we were first doing the podcast, it was It was 2009 to 2010. The world was different.
Well,
15 years ago, my dear sweet father.
Anywho, that's annoying.
I'm with you that's gross and annoying. And
Okay.
2009.
All right. And I have read 18 million Fantastic Four or Fantastic Four related comics since Christmas.
I'm literally going to write 18 million FF comics.
Yeah. So, did you watch the Superman teaser
Yes.
with Crypto?
I think it's going to be good.
Yeah. How do we think about when they just make everybody fall in love with this dog and then we shoot him full of arrows in the Supergirl show? Do people realize that? Did I just spoil that for everyone?
I mean,
Read the book.
I'm so worried that the comic is going to, it's not going to be good. I'm so worried that the TV show of Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow is going to be
TV show
garbage.
too. I started watching Superman and Lois too.
You like it?
It feels like a teenage soap opera. So I quit. I think I would like it, but you got one son that's got powers. The other son doesn't have powers. I like this girl. Her boyfriend wants to beat me up. My dad's, I don't know.
I think Superman is going to feel like a return to like the OG Superman, where Lois is like throwing herself bodily into harm, trying to see if Clark Kent is going to save her.
Okay, write this down.
Yes.
I think that Jimmy Olsen gets powers and turns into like a Godzilla.
Jamie Olsen.
Jimmy Olsen. You know, the photographer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jimmy Olsen turns into Godzilla?
Yeah, a kaiju or something like that. And that's who he has to battle him. All right. Just write it down.
That would be a bummer.
Well, who knows? All right, that's it. That's all I've got for binging.
Pull list. I will explain what it is. A pull list, dear sweet friends, is a list that you give the proprietor of your local comic book shop. And what they do, they pull from their inventory the books that you were collecting and have a beautiful, lovely, small to large stack for you of the comics that you were collecting. That way you get your issues ready for you. Dad is going to share with us 5 books. He's going to share with us a new number 1, a Marvel book, a DC book, an independent book, and then his book of the week.
Yeah, so these books, I think they're all the last 2 weeks, but I've sort of lost track.
It's fine. Who cares?
And it was a struggle to get my DC book because the one I liked, I was like, did I talk about that one?
You can talk about the same book over and over again. It means you like it.
No, but I didn't know if it was the same issue. I don't know if I talked about it or not. So let's just go. We'll start with my independent. It's from Dark Horse. This is Kill All Immortals Issue 5.
We've talked about Kill All Immortals before.
Yep. This is the final issue. Or is it?
Okay, so you think that they'll do more?
I do. So this follows the family, the Norse family, who are immortal. They got their immortality. It looks like from an alien being. And it's
sorry, that's
like,
Tug Everlasting.
And it's funny because it's like manifests itself as the world tree. You know the world tree
Norse.
from exactly. And so the daughter doesn't want to be immortal anymore. She wants to live her life, and they all fight. And then the siblings all get together, and then they gang up against the dad, and she cuts the tree down. And so you're like, this is the end. We now are immortal. I don't know if they are or not, but it happens at the very next page. There's a teaser where someone says, I felt something happened. And now we're in maybe Asia, somewhere in Asia. And it's a group of people, and it's Genghis Khan, who's still alive.
Oh,
and he
sick.
goes, and he touches a tree, and they go, what's the meaning, Genghis? What is it? He goes, it's time for war. So we're going to get all these immortal clans battle one another. I think it might be pretty cool. So, yeah. So this is the last one. It'll be out on trade. Maybe we can talk about it.
Love.
And then when the new one starts, you can catch up if you want to.
Right on. Fun.
My Marvel is Amazing Spider-Man issue 65. I don't know what legacy is. Probably 900.
You're fine.
Something.
1,122.
I think it's 9,059. 959, not 9,000. So we're doing the 8 deaths of Spider-Man.
Yes.
And Spider-Man is like, he gets sick of dying to battle these beings to save the world. And he now is like, I'm fine. I don't mind. I don't have to die. I just have to beat you. I know how to beat you. So the last person he battles, instead of him having to live through his death, he has to live through the death of all of his family and friends.
Absolutely not.
And Peter at the end's like, I quit. I'm not doing this. Because he's like, I've already seen how I die multiple times by battling somebody else, so he has no fear in that. So they get him with that. So who knows what the next issue is going to be. I think the next issue literally came out today. Today is Wednesday. We normally don't tape on a Wednesday. And the issue 65 like a 65 with a dot at the end. I think it's all about Coulson, who's now the embodiment of death.
Coulson is death?
Yeah,
you know,
Coulson
that
is death.
vibes with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., ladies and gentlemen. Mm-hmm. The best TV show. I'm being dramatic.
So anyway, that's my Marvel book. My DC book, I don't know if I pulled this one, which is called The Atom Project.
Oh, yeah.
Issue 1. But if I didn't, I want to pull New Gods issue 1. Did I talk about New Gods?
I don't know. Talk about them both.
Oh, well. These are all
Talk
books.
about New Gods.
Okay, New Gods is, it's when Jack Kirby got mad at Stan Lee and left the Fantastic Four and Marvel to go to DC, he created the New Gods. So, Darkseid.
Yes.
Is a new god.
The thingamajig.
The thingamajig?
Yeah, the thing he wants. He wants a thing.
Yeah, the Omega.
Yeah.
Right. Well, Darkseid is dead. That's what happened in DC All In. Yeah, what happened? What are you giggling about?
I'm just, you being like, what thing, Hannah? The thing.
The Omega, the anti-life equation. That's what he wants. The anti-life equation. He has Omega beams is what he wants.
We killed him, but now there's a new old god?
Well, the new gods, something is happening where a new god is being born.
Oh, no.
And Orion, if you remember, we did the whole thing with Big Barda and Mr. Miracle. They're new gods. They are part of this. Yes. Yes, the High Father, Darkseid. The whole entire thing was that in order to keep peace, the High Father gave Darkseid his son, and Darkseid gave the High Father his son to raise in order to keep peace between the bad gods and the good gods. So Darkseid raised Mr. Miracle.
Yes.
And the High Father raised Orion. So That's the deal. So what's happened now is there is apparently is a new god being born that is supposed to destroy something, and Orion has been tasked to kill this baby. And he goes to Mr. Miracle scot-free and says, I need you to save this baby because I have to go kill it. And if anybody can escape,
it's you.
So it's it's an interesting premise. And I think issue 2 came out today. So anywho.
Did you go, were you able to get to the comic book store today?
I did. I had to take Mom back to get her car. Good. And I picked up my comics. They're downstairs.
Good.
All right. So my new number one. It is by Marvel.
Woo! We haven't done a new number one by Marvel in a very long time.
Do you see my computer
clicking? It's clicking 100%.
And it shocks my ears.
Oh,
my headphones.
Are your headphones shorting your computer?
I don't know. They're just like plug in. They shouldn't do anything. Who knows? Anyway, If I go, it's me. So it's what if Mickey and his friends became the
Avengers, Teen Titans. That's DC.
Fantastic Four.
Yes.
So what if Mickey and his friends became the Fantastic Four?
So Mickey and Minnie, and who else? Goofy and Donald?
Okay, so you picked the 4. Now, who's who?
Mickey is Mr. Fantastic. Minnie is Invisible Woman.
Okay.
Goofy is Ben Grimm.
Think about it again. No, Goofy is the Human Torch.
I know,
Donald Duck.
But Goofy and
Donald's always angry. So
I was just thinking that like Ben Grimm and Mr. Fantastic are like good friends, and that I would think that Goofy and Mickey would be gooder friends.
Gooder friends? Better friends?
Gooder.
Okay, so anyway, it's and
Mickey
if you're
and his
watching
friends
became the Fantastic Four, and it's just fun. Pete the Mole Man.
Oh, heck
Pete becomes the Mole Man, and Gyro Gear Loose gives them like some type of weird juice, and that's what makes them have their superpowers.
Classic.
So, anywho, yeah. All right, so my book of the week.
Book of the week. It's the book of the week.
This is Geiger by Image.
You are loving Geiger right now.
I know. This is issue 10. And so Geiger is set in the future after the big Civil War or whatever. And there's like a whole group of people that live in Las Vegas that like each person in one of the casinos is like a what do you call it? Like basically like a mobster, a gang leader or whatever.
Love.
And so they have been since the beginning trying to destroy the glowing man. Well, they get someone to go after and kill the glowing man.
Is he glowing because of radiation?
Yeah, because he was radiated. Yeah.
Okay.
So this is in the Unnamed universe, which is what we're going to be talking about in the comic next time. And there are other characters from Ghost Machine in the Unnamed. Who do you think they would send out to get him?
The guy at the very end.
No, but that's a good guess. We'll talk about him too. Junkyard Joe.
Oh, let's go, Junkyard Joe.
So the cover is cool. It's awesome.
It's Junkyard Joe.
Yeah, and half Geiger. And of course, Joe does the good thing. Doesn't hurt him, actually saves him.
Aw, as he should.
And at the end of the book, they go to another like a haven, and we're introduced into a new character who will be coming in the next issue. So I love Ghost Machine. I'm going to start dropping some books. Probably some Marvel books. No, nothing from Ghost Machine. I'm keeping everything they put out.
And it's an imprint by Image.
Image, yeah. Mm-hmm.
What's the imprint focused on? Just this unnamed universe?
Well, they've got like 2 or 3 things. They've got the horror thing, which is Hyde Street and Devour. And then they've got this like family-friendly thing, which is the Rockefellers and Halo and Hornsby. They're also having First Ghost, which is like a ghost in the
White House.
Presidents in the White House.
Classic.
And they've got a couple more coming out. So, yeah.
Remind me the imprint's name.
Ghost Machine.
Ghost Machine.
Yep. All right. That's it. Folks.
Okay. We read,
Go ahead, Hannah. Tell her about
my
it.
dear Papa, we read a tale of the unnamed, which
Yes.
is in this universe, if you will. It's even called Tales of the Unnamed. And it's about a blizzard. It's Tales
Yes.
of the Unnamed, the Blizzard.
So this
by
is
Ghost Machine.
from Image. So let me explain how this came out about, first of all. So I think it was 2 years ago, Image had their big 20-year anniversary, 30-year anniversary. I don't know, some type of year anniversary. They put out an anthology series, which is a book that has multiple stories in it. Okay, a comic book that has like 3 stories in it. So they put one out every month for 12 months. And The Blizzard was one of the stories in that anthology.
Oh, fun.
So you got just a part of it. And then you would get 3 more stories. And like one story might last for 3 issues. One story might be just a standalone, that issue only. One story might last 6 issues. And then you collected. And so this book was not printed as a standalone comic. It was printed inside another comic.
Cool.
So yeah. So this is.
How many issues do we know?
There were 12 issues, but this is not the same size as a 12-issue comic. A 12-issue comic usually has about
200, 300 pages.
30 times 12. So yeah, 300 pages. This has 112.
Yeah. It's a short read.
It is a short read, even though it says issues 1 through 12. It's more like a 4 or 5 issue comic book series.
Yeah, because you would only get like 3 or 4 or 6 pages. Would you say?
Trevin just said it. Image launched in 1992, so it was their 30-year anniversary.
Cool.
So they put out a book every month, which showed new stuff, old stuff, upcoming stuff, and this happened to be one of them. Hannah, give everybody the lowdown on what this book's about.
Okay, we start out with the news broadcast that is happening of a how do we do this in a family-friendly way? Of a gentleman who had harmed children and was being prosecuted, was going to go to jail for the rest of his life for the harm against children that he had committed.
And one of the fathers of one of the children who were hurt did what every father would want to do.
And
therefore, he is now going to jail for life or whatever.
for long time.
Long time.
And they make it seem like you might get acquitted, my guy. And then that's not what happens.
Well, but he didn't fight it. He didn't. No,
not at all.
And so they are taking a group of like
People.
5 or 6. There's like 3. Like
I'll pull it up.
Okay, they're like
there's a guy who lit a school on fire.
Okay, they're bad guys. They're
a bunch of bad
criminals
guys.
being transported to a facility by 3
coppers.
By 3 jail attendants or whatever. I think there are 3. And
there are 3.
And it was in Colorado, and all of a sudden a freak blizzard comes out of nowhere. And they see a wreck. Like this van hauling all these people, this bus hauling all these people, see a wreck, and they stop. And okay, Hannah, go. What happens?
They get stuck in the snow. No, they see a wreck, and then
looks like Bigfoot or something.
They see a wreck. Someone is blah, blah.
Yeah, bad.
And
it's bad.
Bad.
This is not a book for kids.
Lots of would you call it a horror, like a short horror comic?
I don't know. Maybe a little, I guess. It's not. I don't know. It's hard to explain that.
The genre is strange because it's some horror, it's some sci-fi,
science fiction, some sci-fi.
It's sci-fi horror, if you will.
I guess so. It would make a good TV show.
It would honestly make a very good TV show.
Or
a limited series.
Or a movie. They could do a movie. They could do it quick. Yeah.
A 6-episode little limited series.
What happens is you find out that there is a creature that lives in the blizzard that kills people because of what they've done wrong.
That this creature will show you your sins.
Basically, yes.
Essentially, and then will come for you.
Then comes for you. Yeah.
But you're the only, if
no one else sees what you see.
You're the only person who is seeing what they're seeing.
Yes.
And so it's these 6 gentlemen who have been.
I love the guy says, I'm innocent.
I didn't do anything.
And guess what?
He was.
He was innocent.
At the very end of the book, it's like, what did you see? I didn't see nothing. I told you
I was innocent.
And he gets acquitted later on. Like, he gets released due to DNA evidence. But it follows this main character whose son had passed away. And it's mainly his story, but you learn from some of the other people. Some of it is hey, even the people that you think
are the good guys.
The good guys have their own stuff going on, and
right.
They might be lying or they might not be. One of them has a gambling addiction and is lying to his wife who is pregnant, due in a week. Mm-hmm. Is doing a week while you're transporting criminals in the snow, my guy?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, well.
And the other one, the spookiest one for me was there's 2 spooky ones for me.
Okay.
The fire guy was very spooky to me. And the guy who
he was creepy to begin with.
He was creepy. And then the gentleman, the guard guy, and the little boy.
Yeah. Yeah. This was a lot like Con Air if it was on a bus in the snow.
No.
And yeah.
It's real. The ending was very sweet.
Sweet.
Might be being dramatic.
The guy who you think is the star of the book at the beginning, he was bad because he killed a guy and he doesn't make it. Out of the 9, I think 3 live. Mm-hmm. Is that right?
2 of the guards and the innocent.
And the one guy who was innocent. Yeah.
And the thing that I really liked was I liked that his son is named Adam. And Adam, he sees his son throughout. And his son is like, well, why didn't you pick me up from my birthday party?
Yeah.
Why weren't you there for me? And
that's terrible.
Things like that, which is might be worse than something else that some of the other spooky things. Having a person that you love.
So that was
you disappointed me.
So the deal is, I think, Hannah, that was his sin, not killing the guy.
It was
not being a good dad.
Kid.
Not being a good dad.
Yeah.
That's why the creature came for him.
Yeah, it wasn't
not because
that you. Yeah, that was my understanding of that as well.
Yeah.
I really liked the end where he's where it's essentially it's assumed that the main character sacrifices himself so the other people can get out of the blizzard. The creature can be killed.
Yes.
And
they don't kill the creature.
But the main character is reconnected with his son.
Yes.
In the end, which is we're supposed to believe that
not biblical, but
not biblical. They're
it is biblical in a way, possibly. Yeah.
But are connected with which is it was a sweet ending. Who was the guy at the very end?
Okay, so at the very end of this book, they hire
the Pentagon.
They want to hire this guy to kill this creature. And he is called the Redcoat. Do you know who the Redcoat is?
The British are coming? The British are coming?
We talked about his book. He was the one who lives forever. It was the weird thing that they were doing with Benjamin Franklin, and he befriended Albert Einstein. And we talked about that, how he had to watch all of his friends die and everything. So that's the Redcoat. Here's the deal with that, the Redcoat. I love the book. It's another one of his Ghost Machine books. But don't you think after a while that outfit would get nasty? I mean, if that outfit's like 1,800 years old.
Give that man a new outfit. Maybe he has
I would think
an expert laundress.
I don't get that. Like that is so funny because that's all I can think about when I'm reading this comic with this guy. Is I'm like he's in the year that's 2022 or 2022 when this comic book came out. And there's a guy just walking around town dressed like the British are coming. The British are coming. I mean, what? It's not like it's like a Revolutionary War convention or something somewhere to where everybody's like, oh yeah, that's normal. I see people walking like that. Yeah, he's in the Panera getting like I'll take the panini and a bear claw. Yeah, nice costume. Yeah, I made it myself. But I don't know. I like the character. He's going to end up being in Geiger too. I have a feeling they're all going to come together.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah, in this unnamed war, I think is what's going to happen.
It was Tales of the Unnamed, the Blizzard. We read it, A, because of Snowpocalypse, and B, because of Dad's interest in these like comics. It was a fun, like the concept was very interesting. The art style was very cool. The story was good. It's definitely more of like a sci-fi horror vibe. It's a very muted color scheme, except for when the Beast shows up and is like getting the people. You can catch my drift if you're paying attention. But I really enjoyed it. I would give it a 4.5 out of 5.
Here's the funny thing is that when this came out on the anthology, I didn't read it.
Really?
Because it was only so much
that it was not enough to pay attention to.
It wasn't enough for me to go, oh, this sounds cool. And then by the time I got, these books were so thick. And by the time I was like, I have to go back and get all 12 of these books. And then I saw it combined on a trade at my shop. And I picked it up and I was like, oh, it's like $14, $15. And I was like, nah, if I really want to read it, I could just read it. I can go get my issues out. Well, this was before it was available on Hoopla. I didn't think it was. But so it did not catch my interest. It definitely reads better altogether.
Yes, I do. I think like getting that story in small bursts would be difficult.
I think if they could have given it to me in 4 or 5,
12 is too many.
But 12 individual sections, I just lost
it's too many.
Interest. Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree with you there.
I did like it because it was cool looking. The
art is fun.
Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh, I looked at it. It's pretty, but I'm not reading it. So, yep. That's all I got, Hannah. How about you?
That's all I got, Daddy-O.
All right. 2025 is the first episode of the year in the interwebs.
Welcome.
In your earballs.
In your earballs. Yeah. Friends, thanks for hanging out with us on our little corner of the internet for this amount of time today. We're thankful for you. Hey, I forgot. I found it. I found it in my brain. Our music. I lost it. I was like, oh no, what am I saying? Our intro music was created, composed, performed by Brockwell Nason. You should check him out anywhere you listen to music, or if you're in the Nashville area, look him up on Instagram. He is always performing around downtown. Our art was made by my dear sweet brother, Nate, in Microsoft Paint. Thanks for doing that for us, bud. I edit and upload our podcast. Dad maintains our Instagram. Wrong. YouTube. Found it. I'm losing my mind. We are glad you're here.
We are glad you're here. And we're thankful. So, yeah, guys, I don't know what they say on all these podcasts. They're like, click, subscribe, review, give 5 stars, especially on Apple. I don't know. We don't really care. But,
me and
listen,
the
6 HBO
down, execs.
We're counting down to issue 111. So get ready for that. That's our big one. It's going to be a
111.
LOTR all day long. Yeah.
Hey.
All right. Thanks, guys. Until next time, we will
catch you on the flippity flop. Bye, friends.
Bye, guys.